Okay, as I told you, now we are on the second skill of the fourth domain. Because Dalal is going to ask me, what about the other three domains? We're going to cover them together, Dalal. But actually, most of the group, they cover domain one, except Masa. So you and Masa will have additional periods together. Masa also covered yesterday because we had a session yesterday. She covered because it was her first period. She covered with them the first skill of the fourth domain. Also, you're going to be covered alone, this skill. Now we are on the second skill of the last domain. The last domain, actually, it's related to grammar punctuation. And the second skill, talk mainly about punctuation. Let me start with the title relative clause. Relative clause. Relative clauses actually are a kind of dependent clause. The it doesn't want to write, okay? Dependent clause. Okay, teacher, wait. I don't know. What does it mean by dependent? Okay, so let's start from the beginning. English consists of sentences. And the sentence must have a subject, then a verb. If we don't have a subject, or we don't have a verb, or we don't have both, it's not going to call a sentence, except in the imperative sentence. Stand up, sit down, go outside, please bring water for me. But this will not come in the digital set. The imperative will not come in the digital set. So any sentence must have subject plus verb. Okay, mister, this is easy, and we know that. But the sentence in English is divided into four kind of sentences. Four kind of sentences. What does it mean? I think you heard about the simple sentence, the compound sentence, the complex sentence, the compound complex sentence. But these are not important for me right now. It's important in the school. But for me right now, what is important to know that the sentence to be simple or compound or complex or compound complex, it must consist of independent clause. And the independent clause look like your father and your mother. They depend on themselves. They don't need anyone to depend on. They are working. They are feeding themselves. They are going work. So because of that, I call it independent. So why you make it like your father and mother? As we said, because they can stand alone. So the independent clause can stand alone. Like, I play football. It has a subject, it has a verb, and it gives me a meaning. It has meaning. So this we call it independent clause, as we said, like your father and your mother. The other part is the dependent clause. And the dependent clause looks like you. You are depending on your father and mother. You are depending on your teacher. You are not fully independent, despite that you are independent, but you still. So an example like a baby, not you, like a baby. The baby can't walk alone. The baby can't eat alone. The baby can't do any action alone. That's the meaning of dependent clause. It can't stand alone. It can't stand alone. Why? Because it needs another part to complete its meaning. It has a subject, it has a verb, but it will not give you a full meaning. Give me an example. While I was eating. I is the subject, was eating is the verb. But the problem that while make this sentence is incomplete. While I was eating. What happened, teacher? Complete your sentence. I don't understand anything. What happened? What happened? So I must say, while I was eating, the bell rang. Now you understand. So the dependent clause can't stand alone without the independent, but the independent can stand alone. So here the independent, father or mother, the dependent look like a baby. The dependent clause start with two things, like while. It can start with something called subordinate conjunction. Like while, when, after. What happened? After, before, if. All of these are subordinate conjunction that make the clause dependent. Or it can start with a relative pronoun. A relative pronoun. Like what the relative pronoun? Like who? Which? Whom? Whose? That? They are here. Who, whom, whose, which, that. These are relative pronouns that come before the dependent clause. Give me a sentence. I saw the man who hit me. To hit me now, it's a dependent clause. If I told you now who hit me, take care, I'm not asking a question. No, this is a clause, not a question. This is a statement. So hit me alone, it's not understandable. So I need to know the first part. I saw the man who hit me, or who hit me. Dalal clear?
Yes, Master.
Abdul Manem clear?
Yes, Mister.
Dunya clear?
Yes.
Masa clear?
Yes.
Suhaib clear?
Yes.
All of these are understandable, but there is only one trick. You have to put it in your mind. All of these relative pronouns can come before them a comma. We are talking about punctuation. Can come before them a comma, except that. That will never come before it a comma. That will never come before it a comma. Again, that will never come before it a comma in the relative pronoun. Okay, teacher, all the time we're going to put a comma before them? No. Wait. Do you remember when I told you that we have independent clause and dependent clause? There is a kind of connection. Like, if you are moving in the street, and your father is in advance, is the first one. So I'm talking about the independent is the first one. And the dependent following his father. In this case, he's not going to be afraid. In this case, he's not going to be afraid because he's protected by his father. So we don't need anything to be between them. I'm just telling you as the story. Independent. The independent, nothing between them. Nothing between them except in some condition that this dependent is a relative clause that it's not important or not essential If it's a relative clause that is not essential, you have to put independent, then comma, then dependent. In the cases only, it's a relative clause and not essential. I don't understand how I know that it's essential or not essential. Now, in your school, you have a teacher that called Tamer that is teaching English. So now it's only one teacher that teach English that his name is Tamer. So I'm gonna say I met Mr. Tamer, who teaches me English. Okay, who teaches me English is not important because only you have one teacher in your school that called Tamer that teach English. So in that case, I'm gonna put comma between them. So I saw Mr. Tamer, comma, who teaches me English. I'm gonna put a comma. Just imagine now that you have double Tamers. One teaches Arabic and the other one teaches English. Here it's important. I met Mr. Tamer who teaches me English. Now it's important because if you're not gonna write it, because if you put comma before it, that means that you can delete it. If you're not gonna write it, I'm gonna ask you who's Tamer, English or Arabic? Clear يا شباب?
Yes, Mister.
Yes, Mr. Clear.
What about the other case? If now the baby or the boy or you is in the beginning, now the dependent in the beginning, he's gonna be afraid. So he has to catch his father's hand. So you have to put comma. Here you have to put comma. If we start with the dependent, then the independent, here you have to put comma. Here, it's a case according that if it's a relative pronoun or relative clause, you're gonna find that it's important, not important, except that there is that. If there is that, you're not gonna put comma at all. Give me example. Look here, the tiger subject, ate verb, my aunt earlier today. Now, this is independent. It's understandable. Look now, the tiger ate my aunt earlier today, but I put that was hungry, relative clause, that is dependent. That is dependent. Okay, teacher, you told me that if we have independent, dependent, we have to put commas or sometimes no. But here there is that. That we said that we're not going to put any comma. Let's make this sentence bigger. You remember this from yesterday. After escaping modifier. Dalal, you're going to know it later, okay? Modifier. There is a comma. Modify what? Modify the tiger. So this is not a sentence. This is not a sentence. This is not a sentence. This is not a clause. Why? Because it doesn't have subject verb. Okay. The tiger, let's look at the main sentence. This sentence, the independent. The tiger ate my aunt earlier today. This is the independent. That was hungry is a dependent, relative clause. Who was nice and juicy? Dependent, relative clause. Here, because there is that, I don't put comma. Here there is who, so I have to decide. It's important or not important. Here it's not important. So because of that, I put comma before it or after, because I can delete it. Clear, شباب?
Yes.
Yes, Mr.
Now, I finished the first part. It's easy, yes? Masa easy? Dunya, Dalal, Suhaib, Admunam, easy?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Mr.
What I want from you, actually, it doesn't relate to digital SAT, but I want to be sure that you understand what I mentioned right now. Okay, what do you want, teacher? I want only to cross all comma phrases. I need only to keep the independent. I need you to cancel all the dependent. I need you to cancel all the relative clauses. I want you to cancel the modifier. Anything that is not important, cancel it. Like the first sentence. He said, although it may better mankind, this is dependent. I cancel it. Some critics of animal testing, where the subject, this is the subject, where the verb claim it's cruel and inhumane. So which is sometimes harmful to the animal is dependent. I cancel it. So we cancel the dependent and we cancel the modifier. Let's start with Abdul Munam. Number 2, Abdul Munam. Cancel the dependent and the modifier, Abdul Munam. Number 2. What you're going to cancel, Abdul Munam?
So, the modifier after running.
Yes, perfect. So I'm going to cancel after running the Boston Marathon. Okay, there is another one that you're going to cancel.
That was left in his
that
bottle.
That was left, huh? Complete.
That was left in his bottle and fell to his knees.
Excellent. Only that was left in his bottle. So now the main sentence or the independent, Jack Collins drank all the water and fell to his knees. Thank you. Dalal, you're going to do the same.
Okay.
What you're going to cancel here?
That had fallen to the bottom of the ocean.
Thank you. That had fallen to the bottom of the ocean. It's a relative clause. The main sentence is the lost ship and its treasure were never found again. Thank you. Dunya. Number 4. What you're going to cancel here?
In addition to his cousins.
Excellent. Prepositional phrase that is not important. Okay. There is another one.
Which until anything.
Excellent. A relative clause. So the main sentence is Frank suffers from a condition known as hyperthyroidistic syndrome. Thank you. Number 5, Masa.
Yes.
What you're gonna cancel?
Which allowed her to recall the happy memories in her own life.
Perfect. This is relative clause, but there is another one.
Starting at the age of 10.
Yes, a modifier. So the main sentence is Smith kept a daily diary. Thank you, Miss. Suhaib, number 6. What you're gonna cancel?
Referred to only by initials, even within his innocence.
Excellent. So the main sentence is 4 years the chairman remained anonymous. Thank you. Actually, for me also, I'm gonna delete 4 years, but he doesn't put here the comma. It's a mistake from Panda. He must put the comma and delete 4 years. Okay, so the chairman remained anonymous. Perfect. Let's return back again to Abdul Munam, number 7.
The principal of the school.
Okay, this we call it a positive. We have another one.
Whose grades are low.
Whose grades are low. This is the relative clause. This is a positive. So the main sentence is students will have to report to me. Thank you. Yeah. Dalal, number 8.
Every detail about every day since 1976.
Every detail. No. Did the subject?
Ranging from the time she got.
Yes. There's a modifier. Excellent.
Yes.
So this is a subject. Take care, Dalal. Every detail is the subject. Every detail has forever. So every detail about every day since 1976 has forever ingrained itself into her mind. Perfect. Thank you. Number 9, Dunya.
Ever since it allowed entered games.
Okay. This is a subordinate or dependent clause. There is another one.
Which until blocked.
Perfect. A relative clause. So the main sentence is here. The library has been the place everybody wants to be nowadays. Thank you, Dunya. Masa, number 10.
A poor single mother of 2.
Okay. This is a positive. But there is another one. There are other 2.
With such sadness occupying her thoughts.
Excellent. A prepositional phrase, a modifier. So Erica is the subject. Erica struggled to sleep at night. What do you think about this?
When the even when the babies themselves are a fuss.
Yes, because this is dependent clause. Thank you, Masa. Suhaib, number 11.
Who want from who till yield?
Yield, okay. Do we have another one?
Yes, and from that to nutritions.
Nutrients. Okay. So farmers should use fertilizers. Perfect. Let's go again to Abdul Munam. Number 12.
Having worked so hard with blood, sweat, and tears.
So again, say it again.
Having worked so hard with blood,
Yes.
sweat, and tears.
Sweat and tears. This is a modifier. Do we have other things? No. Okay.
No.
I long for the day I can finally say that SATs are over. Yes. All of us. 13. Dalal.
In some cases,
Perfect. It's not important. Do we have other things?
no.
Yes. Culture shock can be severe enough to trigger mental breakdown. Thank you. Dunya.
That many do not have.
Excellent. Relative clause. Don't forget that that will not precede by a comma, even if it's not required. Master of martial arts require a dedication. Perfect. Okay. Now for math.
From a 70-year-old to admission.
Yes. All of this is a positive. Do we have another one?
Yeah, one that she hoped would be different.
Excellent. So the main sentence, Mrs. Daughtery came to our facility for a second opinion. Perfect. I'm sure now that you understand this rule about the dependent, the independent, the relative clause, and the subordinate conjunction. Now, let's go to another rule. Prepositional phrases. Teacher, we passed through prepositional phrases here many times. Many, like for years. It's a prepositional phrase. Take care. The prepositional phrase consists of a preposition, then object of the preposition. And the object of the preposition, it must be a noun or a pronoun. And the pronoun must be object pronoun, like me, him, her, it, you, us, them. No object of the preposition will be with apostrophe S or S apostrophe. Will never, will never, will never. So now we know about the prepositional phrase. If the prepositional phrase comes in the beginning of the sentence, we put comma after it. Then we start with the subject, then the verb. No commas will be between the preposition and the object of the preposition. No commas between them. No commas between them. Okay. Let's see here. Here are some examples of prepositions. But take care. The preposition needs an object. Because if there is no an object, it's an adverb. This is not in the digital set, but just for you as an information. Okay. Teacher, may you give me some examples on the prepositional phrase and how we're going to find them? Yes, like here. Throughout the living room. Throughout is the preposition. The object is room. Living and the are adjectives. We can put them as object. Of fatty crabs of preposition. Crabs, object of the preposition. This, as you can find, is a relative clause. On the diet, on preposition, diet of object of the preposition. For me, huh? Me is here. For object, me. I'm sorry. For preposition, me, object of the preposition. Okay. What we're gonna do right now? Only, I wanna be sure that you understand what does it mean by prepositional phrase. So we're gonna do only. We're gonna cancel prepositional phrase. Who's the last one that answered? I think
It's my turn.
Mesa. Yes. So hi. Cancel the prepositional phrase here.
Into till Haiti.
Okay. So we have into the boat, this one. For the short trip, this two. To Haiti, this three. Okay. So we have three prepositional phrases. Let's go now to Abdul Minan.
Mr. If you do business with me,
I need preposition and object of preposition.
if you do business,
Where here the preposition?
if
If is subordinate conjunction.
mm, with me,
With me, Abdul Minan. With me. Okay,
yeah,
there is
okay.
another one, Abdul Minan. There is another one.
Of the deal.
Yes. Okay. Dalal, number 3.
On Monday,
There is another one.
for the underwear.
Thank you. Number 4. Dunya.
If the package,
Again.
if the
If
package,
is not a preposition. If is not a preposition.
from Amazon had arrived.
Okay, from Amazon only. There is another one.
To check.
To and check. We said a noun or a pronoun. Check is an infinitive. No, by my house. Okay, Dunya?
Okay.
By my house from Amazon. You have to divide the preposition, Dunya. Okay. Masa, number 5.
Into the casino vault,
Okay, this one.
and with their perfectly executed plan.
Thank you. Perfect. Number 6, Sohaib.
Of string theory.
A string theory. There is another one.
Were at the drawing board.
Thank you. Abdul Munim again. Number 7.
Its own of its own destruction.
Okay, there's another one.
It's the seeds
Within it.
within.
Within.
It's the seeds. Okay.
No. The seats is not. Within it. Only.
Okay.
Within it. Okay. Number 8. Dalal.
During the school assembly,
This one. There is another one.
out the door.
Thank you. Dunya.
Within seconds.
This one. Still Dunya.
Of hearing.
This 2. Still.
To Antarctica.
There is another one.
About the trip.
Yes. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 prepositional phrases that they come in the beginning and after them, comma. Don't forget that. So within seconds of hearing about the trip to Antarctica. Thank you. Masa, number 10.
In a broken elevator
This one.
at a rundown hotel in
This
Thailand.
2. Thank you. Perfect. Okay. What do you think now about the rules? Easy, yes? No one said
Yes,
easy. Okay. Take care All of these only I'm preparing for the file, for my file. Okay. Now, run on. Run on. Teacher, in the beginning, you talked about something I do remember that you told me that there are many kind of sentences. There's simple, there's compound, there's complex, there's compound complex. Now I'm going to talk about the compound. But I'm not going to ask you in digital sat about the compound. This only in academia. The compound sentence consists of two fathers or two mothers or a father and a mother. Means two independent clauses. Two independent clauses that come after each other. Two independent clauses that come after each other. Okay, teacher, wait. But if the two independent clauses come after each other, not a dependent and independent, not independent and dependent. They are two independent. So both of them can stand alone. What we are going to put between them? You have to give something here. You have to characterize them. You have to give them a merit. Yes, we can do that. If we have two independent clauses that come after each other, you have to put one of these four. One of these four. One of these four. Number one, you have to put comma, fanboys. Not only comma. No comma, fanboys. Fanboys, it's an acronym for the coordinate conjunction. What are the coordinate conjunction? For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. There's number one between them. Comma, fanboys. Not only fanboys. Not only comma. Both of them together. Comma, fanboys. Again, if you want to know about the fanboys, they must be written here, huh? They are here. Fanboys in page 6. Fanboys stand for, and, nor, but, or, it, so. If we have two independent clauses, means subject, verb, comma, conjunction, subject, verb. I make it as a song. Subject, verb, comma, conjunction, subject, verb. Only this? No. The second case, you can put between them semicolon. Allah, this is the first time to know that. So we can put independent, semicolon, independent? Yes. Can we put semicolon and fanboys? No, wrong. Semicolon, fanboys, wrong. It must be comma, fanboys, or semicolon. Third way to put a full stop. So I can put independent, full stop, independent. The fourth case, to change one of them to be subordinate. It change one of them, one only, because the subordinate can't stand alone. It needs independent. So change one of them to be subordinate. Okay, give me example. Okay. I played football. I fell down. Subject, verb, independent. Subject, verb, independent. So teacher, what we're going to do? Put comma, fanboys, comma, and. So I can say comma, and. I played football, comma, and I fell down. Okay, put semicolon. I played football, semicolon, I fell down. You can put full stop. I played football, full stop, I fell down. You can change one of them to be a subordinate or a dependent. When, I put when, subordinate conjunction. I played football. And because we start with the dependent, so I'm going to put the comma. I fell down. Any question?
No, Mister.
Okay. Now, why we call the sentence run on? Because it will be two independent that come after each other, but nothing between them. So it's look like an accident, nothing between them. Or you put comma only between them. Look at this one. He said, I took the SAT, okay, comma, and I scored a 36. Actually, 36 in ACT, not in SAT. And I applied to MIT, and I got in. All of this wrong. Why? Because the repetition of and. We put only and at the end. We put only and at the end, so it must be like that. I took the SATs, comma, I scored the 36, comma, I applied to MIT, comma, and I got in. So this is also wrong. This is also wrong. So when we have two complete sentences and you put comma only is wrong. You don't put anything is wrong. Like this one. He was hungry, independent. He bought a Chaptal burrito, independent. You put comma, it's wrong. You have to use one of these four. Use a period. So he put full stop. He was hungry, full stop. He bought a burrito. Or use comma fanboys. So now he used comma so from the fanboys. Okay, what about this? Can we consider therefore as fanboys? Can you find them here? Can you find therefore here? No. So therefore, it's an adverb. So what we're going to do here, it's wrong. You have to change this to be semicolon because now we consider it that they are two independent that come after each other. Or you can use semicolon. He was hungry, semicolon, he bought a burrito. He was hungry, semicolon, therefore he bought a cheaper burrito. He was hungry, semicolon, and wrong. Semicolon, fanboys, wrong. Must be comma, fanboys, or semicolon only. Or the fourth case, to change one of them to be dependent. Like he put here because he was hungry, dependent. He bought a burrito, independent. And he put comma between them because we said before, dependent, then independent all the time, put comma between them. Okay, here's some examples. Here he changed to relative clause. He said the teacher yelled at Elijah. Take care, in the distant set, I'm not going to ask you to write. I'm going to give you the choices and you have to decide which one is the right one. The teacher yelled at Elijah. She had left for homework at home. This independent subject verb, this independent subject verb between comma is wrong. Must be comma fanboys, semicolon, full stop, or change one of them to be dependent. He changed the second one to be relative clause. Who had left her homework at home. Another one. The hackers copied the company's central databases. These contain sensitive data on customers. Subject verb, independent. Subject verb, independent. So now it's wrong because he put only comma. So what he do? He changed the second one and put relative clause. Why he put which here? And why he put who here? Who for people? And here we have Elisha. So who? Which for things? Here we have databases. So we put which. Let's look to another one. Take care. You can change one of them to be a phrase, like a modifier or a positive, like here. Yesterday, Russia deployed troops on the border. Someone ask a question. Sorry, the question just in the chat. Independent. Then dependent. Dunya, we said that. It will be right without anything between them. But despite that, if this dependent, it's a relative clause that it's not essential. مش احنا قلنا دنيا لو dependent is relative clause not essential. المثال بتاع مستر تامر الانجليش teacher الوحيد. I met Mr. Tamer who teaches me English. ما هو واحد. I put comma. Clear دنيا؟
Yes.
Okay. So you can change one of the independent to be a phrase. To be a phrase. Like here. Yesterday, Russia deployed troops on the border. Subject verb. This is a clear violation of the peace agreement. Subject verb. Between them, comma, wrong. So what he did, he changed the second independent to be a phrase. Look here. It's a positive. He said Russia deployed troops on the border. So now he said a clear violation of the peace agreement. This is a kind of what they did. So this, no subject verb, as you can find. No subject verb. It's a kind of noun phrase. So he put comma before it. Another one. The Burj Khalifa is the tallest building in the world. It attracts thousands of tourists each year. Subject verb, subject verb. Independent between comma is wrong. So what he did, he changed the second one to be a modifier. No subject verb. Look, he canceled it and make attracts attracting. A modifier. Again, he took about the modifier. People named it after inventor Nikola Tesla. The Tesla coil is used in radio, transmitters, and electrotherapy. Subject verb, subject verb. So here, independent between comma is wrong. What he did, he changed the first part to be a modifier and after the comma. Named after inventor Nikola Tesla. What this? The coil. Okay. Another one. He is reflecting on the meaning of life, comma. Henry tried to find philosophical answers to life's problems. Subject verb, independent between comma is wrong. He changed the first one to be modifier. Reflecting on the meaning of life, who? Henry. Tried to find philosophical answer to lives. Sometimes we can use and without a comma. How, teacher? We're going to make a compound subject or compound verb. Like here. James turned up the music. Subject verb, comma. He danced like there was no tomorrow. Subject verb. Comma is wrong. We have to put comma, fanboys, semicolon, full stop, or change one of them to be dependent, or make any kind of adjustment. What he said James here is repeated here. He said he. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to only cancel he and the comma and put and. So James turned up the music and danced like there was no tomorrow. So now this is simple sentence, not compound, because it has subject and two verbs, not subject, verb, subject, verb. It has only subject here, subject and verb and verb. So this we call it compound predicate or compound verb. Other examples. You should memorize the list conjunction. Subject verb. It will help immensely on the set. Subject verb. Between them, comma, wrong. What he did, he put comma, fanboys. And he put semicolon. And they changed one of them to be dependent. So he make it in three answers. He put comma, fanboys, comma, 4. He put semicolon. Or he changed one of them to be dependent. Start with because. Another one. I love the game of basketball. However, I don't play it myself. However, it's not a conjunction. So I have subject verb. Here's subject verb. Between them only, comma is wrong. So what he did, he changed it to, he put comma but, comma conjunction. Or he put semicolon. Or he put even though. He changed the one to be independent, a dependent clause. Start with even though. Okay. Again, he's repeating the same thing. I love the game of basketball. However, I don't play it myself. Two independent clauses. However is nothing. However is an adverb. So you have to put semicolon or comma fanboys or change one of them to be dependent. Another example. Nightmares keep me awake at night. Semicolon yet. Wait. You told me that semicolon will not be used with a conjunction. So this is wrong. So you have to put only semicolon or comma fanboys, comma yet, not semicolon yet, or change one of them to be dependent. You change the first one by putting although. Another one. One of my idols is Michael Jackson. I know that you don't know this one. He was one of the famous people in my era because I'm an old man. One of my idols is Michael Jackson. He was one of the best performers of his time. Subject, verb, comma, only wrong. So what he did, he changed the second one to be dependent with relative clause. That is not important. Why? Because we know who is Michael Jackson. Or he changed the second one to be a positive when without subject verb. One of my idols is Michael Jackson, one of the best performers of his time. Here, when I try to go to sleep, wait, when here, so this is dependent. Nightmares keep me awake at night, this independent. After brushing my teeth, this is a modifier. I oddly feel energized in the morning, this independent. Wait, mister, I think there is a problem. Because this modifier is with this sentence. So now all of them is independent. And this is independent with this one. And here dependent, comma, independent is right. But the problem here is the independent. Here is wrong. You have to put semicolon, comma, fanboys, or full stop only. You can't put a dependent because we have dependent already. So he put comma yet, or he put semicolon. Here he gave us some reminders. He said, if there is already a conjunction, or if we are not connecting to complete sentence, we are not complete to a complete sentence in the first place, then there is no error. There is no error. Like here, although the plan was perfect, this dependent. The clumsy criminals, this is subject, but no verb. Who by now would have millionaire, this dependent. Relative clause. Are locked in jail, in cells. Okay, so the sentence is like that. The clumsy criminals are locked in jail cells. This is the independent now. Slowly waiting out their sentence is a modifier. So we don't have any problem here. We don't have any problem. It's a dependent, comma, independent, and between we have relative clause. No problem. Here, never use more than one way of correcting. So don't use semicolon with a conjunction. It's wrong. Semicolon with a conjunction, wrong. Take care. You put dependent, even though, then you put comma, fanboys, wrong. You put semicolon before the dependent, wrong. Here, it's not a complete sentence. It's a modifier, and you put comma and, wrong. Here, it's a modifier. It starts the sentence, and you put comma and, wrong. Now, let's go to work. Identify whether the sentence is run-on, means two independent clauses that come after each other without anything between them. And if so, where it occurs, the first one is done for you. Here, he said, a caller from Memorial Park reported a man beating his head against a wall. He was heading to work. Independent, between them, comma, is wrong. This is run-on. This is run-on. Okay, whose turn? بالله عليك دور يا شباب، انتوا نمتوا ولا ايه؟ Hello. طب اي حد نبتدي بعبد المنعم. يلا عبد المنعم, you are the scapegoat today.
Yes.
Number 2, tell me is right or there is a problem. Only just tell me right or there is a problem. And where is the problem?
No one got a good look at the vehicle's license
It
plate.
answered. I'm sorry. It answered or no, it's not answered. Okay, tell me again. Where's the problem?
In no one.
Excellent. Here. The problem is here. Thank you. Dalal. Number 3.
Yes. Is it correct
What?
I think there is no mistake.
How? However, before however. We have two
Oh, yeah.
sentences. In New York, the train system is difficult to learn, independent. However, the food is fantastic and diverse, independent. Between them, comma is wrong. Okay?
Yes.
Number 4, Donya. Where is the problem here? Or there is a problem or not?
There is
Okay, there is a problem. Where?
in the second sentence.
Yeah, which one? Tell me. Where exactly? Because all of it is a sentence. We have clauses here, not a sentence. Huh?
Before and.
No, is right, because here we have dependent. Then we have independent. Then we have independent. So between them, comma and is right. Look here. Another independent. You got it?
Oh, yes.
Number 5. Massa. Is there any problem?
No, it's correct.
Perfect. Lucky, Massa. Sohaib. Number 6. Is there a problem?
Before as.
Before as. Perfect. Why? Wanting to be sure that what he could, this is a modifier. Then this independent. Then another independent. So we have to put something here. Okay, thank you. Abdul Manam, number 7 again. Abdul Manam.
So,
Number 7. Is there a problem here or not?
walked by.
Walked by. Yes, it's here. The problem. Perfect. Thank you. Independent. So we have to put here something. Number 8. Dalal.
Yes. Before some time.
Excellent. Perfect. This independent. Then dependent. Then another independent. So there's a problem. You have to put something here. Number 9. Dunya.
Is it correct?
No, Donia. Look here. At the time, discovering quantum physics looked like this independent. Then but independent. Okay. Then here, he said, thus, when people claim that math and science are no violence, it drives. Okay. We said this independent, comma, but. Then we have dependent. No, there's a problem here. Okay.
Okay.
Number 10. Massa.
It's however.
Excellent. Here. Number 11. Suhaib.
Okay. I think it's a correct sentence.
Excellent. It's correct. Number 12. Abdul Manam.
Is it correct, Yusuf?
No. Suddenly realizing this is a modifier. Maya panicked and looked at her watch. This independent. Then there was independent. Okay.
Yes.
13. Dalal.
Before aware.
Did you look at? The salesman, aware that he was going to lose. This is take care. This is right. Because of that you thought, but I told before that. Here there is aware. So this is a modifier now.
Okay.
And here
Yes.
the subject and here the verb. So it's
Correct.
right, Dalal. Okay.
Okay.
14. Dunya. Dunya.
Is there a problem before as?
Excellent. Here. Because this is a prepositional phrase, then independent, then prepositional phrase, independent. So here. Number 15. Masa.
It's furthermore.
Excellent. Suhaib. Number 16.
After spider.
Excellent. You're perfect, guys. You're perfect. Okay. Let's say something look like the digital set. Look like. Not the same, but look like. Okay. So you're going to solve from 1 till 3 on the chat box one time. You know how to answer this, except Dalal. Dalal, we are writing the answer for the 3 together, okay?
Okay.
On the chat box. Waiting for your answers for number 1, 2, and 3. Dalal, I saw only number 2. Where is 1, 2, 3? Sohaib, you are right. 3 of them. Perfect, Sohaib. I want 1, 2, and 3. Dalal.
Yes, okay, Mister.
Dalal, write them next to each other, then press enter. Don't write each one alone, then you press. Okay. Donya, your questions is not understandable. Show me the answers, Donya. I don't care that they are the same or not. Show me the answer. Perfect, Donya. Dalal, I'm gonna pick each one alone. Okay. No Dalal. Number 1, why? Number 2, also no Dalal. Number 3, no. Check them, Dalal. Waiting for Mesa and Abdul Minam. Only you have number 2 wrong, Masa. Abdul Munam, yes. 3 of them right. Okay. Masa and Dalal. As you can find here, despite a subordinate conjunction, the cracks in the kitchen wall and the leak faucet. So this is dependent. The apartment sold for over double what it was worth. This is this independent. Dependent, then independent, we put comma between them. Dalal. We put comma between them. So the answer here is going to be C. Clear, Dalal?
Yes, Mr.
Number 2. He said the waiter tried to sell the most expensive bottle of wine to the young diners. Independent. All of them decided that it wasn't worth it. Okay, here we have independent and we have dependent. But the problem here between these two, so we have to change all of this because here the comma is right. So we have to change all of this to be dependent. So of whom? Clear, Mesa?
Yes.
If you put Mesa as you put D and you delete the underline, so it's going to be all decided. It's independent. So it's going to be wrong because the comma is right. Also for Dalal. For number 2, Dalal, you said B.
Yes.
It's going to be independent, so it's going to be a problem because the comma is going to be wrong. Okay. Number 3, the letter. This is a subject. Which declared the revolution in Cuba. This is dependent relative clause. Was drafted, this is the verb. So now the subject and the verb make it independent. By the leader of the rebels. It was stays, another independent. So how independent between only comma. Okay, so what we're gonna do here, he can, if we're gonna keep it, the first one is wrong because between them comma wrong. If we're gonna say rebuilds, comma, then typed up, it's gonna be also wrong. If we're gonna say rebuilds and typed up, yes, now is gonna make it what? One independent, but it's gonna have 2 verbs, drafted and typed. Drafted and typed. Semicolon and is wrong. Semicolon and is wrong. Clear, Dalal?
Yes, Mr.
Okay. Let's take more. I need, no, I'm gonna take some by some. From 4 till 7 only. From 4 till 7. We're gonna start with this, part by part, just to be sure that you master. From 4 till 7. Dalal, number 4. No, still wrong, Dalal. 5 also wrong. 6 wrong. 7 wrong. What happened, Dalal? You have to
Mister,
find.
I didn't know. I'm trying, wallah, mister.
No problem. I want you to watch this record again, especially the last one. Okay?
Yeah.
Especially the last one. But keep, we're still. I'm not going to leave you until you got all the idea. Abdul Munam, 4 right, 5 right, 6 wrong, Abdul Munam. 7 right. Only number 6 wrong, Abdul Munam. Swipe 4 right, 5 right, 6 right, 7 wrong. Only number 7 Suhaib wrong. Waiting for Dunya and Mesa. Yes. Now right, Suhaib. Mesa. 4 right, 5 right, 6 right, 7 wrong, Mesa. Only number 7. Dunya. Dunya. 4 wrong, Dunya. 5 wrong. 6 right, 7 right. Okay. Let's have to look together. 4, he said, because malaria. Take care. He starts with because. Subordinate conjunction. Malaria is the subject. A disease transmitted by mosquito. This is a positive. Can be fatal, yes. So this is dependent. Why? Because it starts with because. Where is the verb for? The verb is here. So how? We made this is independent. So we have dependent. All of this is dependent. Then independent. How you write so? How you write comma so? So this is gonna be wrong. Okay, can we write and the same thing? Can we write but the same mistake? So what we're gonna do? Delete so. Delete the conjunction. Number 5. When the school board wanted to cut spending in half, there is when. And there is subject verb, so this dependent. Which, again dependent, but with a relative clause. That, again dependent. Oh my God. How? We said that the dependent can't stand alone. We must have independent. We must have independent. Okay, so the first one is wrong. Semicolon is wrong. Why? Because dependent, and you're gonna delete this and put semicolon. So like that, this is gonna be independent. We can't put semicolon at all. Can we put comma? Yes, because now it's gonna be, if we delete which, so like that is gonna be independent. So dependent, independent, we put comma between them. Colon, no, we didn't take actually the colon till now. Number 6. Jack bought the used car knowing that he would have to fix it up. Okay. We're going to call that all of this is independent. Then it was the only one he lied it. Another independent. Okay, it's right. Independent, semicolon. It's right. Why you're going to put semicolon fanboys? Wrong. Comma alone is going to be run on. Why we're going to put which? Which doesn't have anything before. If we need which, so we need a thing before it. So the answer is A. 7. That most of you will make it wrong. Fans stood in a long line that stretched down and around the block. We're going to call that all of this is independent. They were waiting for the box office to open. Also independent. Between them, comma alone is wrong. Conjunction alone is wrong. But you're going to say the block and waiting. Yeah, but we must have here stretching. So stretching and waiting to be parallel. Semicolon while is wrong. Semicolon dependent is wrong. So the answer is going to be the last one. How, teacher? Because you're going to change the second one to be modifier. Like that is going to be modifier. Waiting for the box office is going to be modifier. Okay. Okay, miss. Number 8, 9, 10. 8, 9, 10. Donia, I'm sorry, Dalal, take care. 8, 9, 10. Analyze each one of them. Abdul Munam. 8 right, 9 right, 10 right. Perfect, Abdul Munam. Suhaib. 8 right, 9 right, 10 right. Perfect, Suhaib. Why, Dunya? 8 right, 9 wrong, 10 wrong. Why 9 and 10 wrong? They're easy. Waiting for Dalal and Masa. Dalal, Bismillah, 8 right. 8 right. But we come to 9 and 10 and we made them wrong. But Alhamdulillah, that we start to get it. Okay. 8 right, 9 and 10 wrong. Waiting for Masa. Okay, Masa. 8 right, 9 right, 10 wrong. Okay. We need only to have a little concentration. As I told you, here in the digital set, you're not going to find the choice of no change. You're not going to find it. You're going to find all the choices, and I'm going to tell you the way that we're going to answer it. But I want to be sure that you understand this rule by the hardest way, not by the easiest way. Digital set is easier than that. But I want to be sure that you're going to take the information, because sometimes he's going to bring for you question level 3. Level 3 look like this one. So let's find the first one. He said doctors must adhere to best practices and obey certain hospital guidelines. Independent. Then here he said they limit the amount of medication that can be prescribed to patient. Another independent. So do independent between them, comma, is wrong. Take care that the comma here is right because it's not underlined. So A is wrong. So we need now to change they to be something to be right. So the only one that's going to be right to put which? To change the second one. If we're going to write which here instead of they, so it's going to be dependent. So it's going to be right. Second one, number 9, number 10 that most of you got wrong. The manager debated the issue with the employees to get their feedback. Independent. Even though subordinate conjunction. So this dependent. How you put semicolon in? Semicolon is wrong. Semicolon is wrong. Okay. So if we put comma, but you're gonna put comma, take care, you're gonna put feedback and comma, and then you're gonna put they had. So it's gonna be independent because you delete even though. So it's gonna be wrong because it's gonna be run on. Semicolon and but wrong. So what we need even though. So like that, it's gonna be independent, dependent, and we're not gonna put anything between them because independent, dependent. The last one. Most mixed martial arts fighters today practice Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Okay, independent. This is a brutal form of martial arts that focus another independent. To put comma alone is wrong. Okay, what about if we change it and say being? Being, like we're gonna delete all of this and write Jitsu, comma, being a brutal form of martial. It can be. Yes, it can be. Do you know that B? It can. Yes, it can. But wait, because we need the best. This is gonna be modifier. Jitsu, then semicolon, a brutal form of martial arts? No, because like that is not gonna have subject verb. So it's not gonna need semicolon. What about if we put comma? Jitsu, then we said a brutal form. Like that is gonna be a positive. It's gonna be a positive. And this is better than being. This better. So D is the right answer. But B also can be to make it a modifier. But the right answer is D. Okay. Page 13 in this file. Page 13 in this file is homework. Let me write it. Homework. page 13. Dalal, you're gonna watch this record again, okay?
Yes, okay, sure.
Yeah, start watching it before answering, especially the last part. Only we have a problem in the last part, not the previous. The previous are easier for you and you answer it correctly. Clear?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Any question? Masa, any question? Dunya, Suhaib, Abdul Munim, Dalal?
No, sir, thank you.
Thank
No,
you.
mister, thank you.
Okay. Dalal, also we have to memorize 100 words from a file that I'm gonna send again. This file, you have to memorize the first 100 words for next
Okay.
time. Okay, I'm gonna send it again. It's where is the group? It's March. Yes, here.
Mr. When is the deadline for memorizing the words?
No, next time I'm gonna ask you on those words.
Oh, okay.
The first 100 words only, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna write a home. Reply the first 100 words. And I'm gonna put for you the record. Goodbye.
Goodbye, mister.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.